Toon Tactics, listen, mate, your first major trophy you've ever witnessed.
Yes, sir.
Give me your thoughts on your feelings right now and your team's performance, brother.
I'm lost for words, Terry, and it's just like you said, and you summarized it really well at the beginning, it's the first time I've seen Newcastle lift a trophy, and I'm like, wow, this is what it feels like. And not only that, is that we did it properly. No one can take it away from us. We beat the best team. First of all, I need to say big up to Liverpool. They are the best team in the country. They're good. They're the champions elect, and they're worthy of that. People are going to downplay that. They're head and shoulders above everybody else in the most competitive league in the world, in my opinion. But today, we beat the best team in the country. And before that, we beat the second best team in the country this year, twice, home and away. And we beat Chelsea. And we beat Nottingham Forest away. We more than deserve this. And I wanted to make that clear, especially not just for, it's not for rivals, it's for us Newcastle fans, that we are good enough. We are good enough to be winning trophies and to be considered for competing titles. We need to believe that we are good enough. And today we've proved that. And God bless Eddie Howe. I was at church today. I had to miss half the first half, but God rewarded me for my sacrifice. And today we've seen Newcastle lift the trophy. I'm forever grateful to that. Big up to you, Steve. I wish there was more Newcastle fans I could give big ups to, but big up to you, Steve, and big up to all the Newcastle fans. We've been through a lot. We are here today. The journey is sweet, but I'm so glad to be here. Thank you.
Yeah, look, I appreciate that, mate. And of course, you have been through a lot as Newcastle fans, and it's winning trophies is also addictive, and you'll want more and more and more of it. And it's an amazing thing. Steve, yourself, you started being a Newcastle fan over a decade ago, and to be honest, for somebody from America, there was absolutely zero need for you to pick Newcastle because you could have picked everybody. You didn't. Yeah. And how does that feel after everything you've witnessed in the last decade or so, watching them to come out on top today and see the first trophy in 70 years lifted?
Wow. First off, I got to big up every Newcastle fan that was before me in the building, like Toon Tactics, like all of my buddies over in the UK and around the world. Because, yeah, you're right. I'm relatively new, like as a fan compared to others. I mean, people who are 50, 60 years old haven't seen us lift any domestic silverware for a while. So, but yeah, like I never thought I'd see this day. That's what it is. And I thought the performance we put on today was what I thought was going to happen to us. I thought it was going to be a literally Uno reverse. I said 2-0 Liverpool, and I thought what was going to happen was that we were going to be off the, just missing that intensity, missing those 50-50 duels, and we took our chances, and we could have had a few more as well. I literally thought it was going to be complete in reverse. So we showed what champions do, and these guys' careers forever will be changed because of that. And I think it's super valuable that it happened. So, no, I'm thrilled. I still can't even believe it. I literally cannot believe it. It could not like Dan Burn. Dan Burn has not been great this year. He's not been great. He's been all right. I thought that you could throw me in the camp of being like, why did Dan Burn get called up? Like, he's been a bit suspect lately. But today, this is the day to show, like, yo, this is why I got called up to the England team. I don't think he missed out on any headers. I mean, statistically, whatever. I thought he was terrific. Even Cher was playing some nice long balls throughout the game that were invaluable. Isak taking the goal. I said I was
finish. That was a finish.
The finish. Good Lord. No, it was just so well taken. It was so well taken, and it was just a few minutes after the fact that we had the goal disallowed as well. Yeah. So that shows real mentality. He's not phased. He's not phased by it, and the team wasn't phased by it either. We knew there was more goals in the game. We knew that. The team just sensed blood in the water the entire time. So, and I got it. And look, I am Eddie Howe critic. That's what you were saying that about people who are. So I'm more than happy to be wrong. He's managed this tournament brilliantly. We've had tough opposition to Nottingham Forest. We made a lot of hard work out of Wimbledon at home. That was a scrappy game. Got through that. Beat Liverpool in the final. Before that, in the semifinal, we emphatic victory over Arsenal. So I gotta give Eddie Howe a lot of props. a lot. I mean, he's a club legend forever.
100%.
And I think if we give him some serious money, then we can maybe do something. But Jesus, Terry said it earlier. Like we Newcastle fans, we will remember this forever and ever. This is I just never thought it was going to happen. I never did. It's one of those, because there's a reason why clubs go 70 years without winning trophies.
Yeah.
That doubt builds up. And some clubs still haven't won anything. I mean,
yeah, no, it does, and this is when people use the word heritage quite a lot. This is where heritage doesn't always prevail, right? But this is where, like, I think again, Liverpool didn't deserve to win today. If Liverpool's goal though comes on the 80th minute, it could have been different, because what you felt, you saw a nervous in your crowd, but that's where you got to give your players credit. Your players then did something so smart for the next 5 minutes. They got the ball right into the corners, were jeering the crowd up, because they know we need you to help us here. And if your players would have followed the same suit that your fans did when Liverpool scored and sort of went in themselves and all sat back, Liverpool would have had like 2.5, 3 minutes of just bombarding your box. And that's why history does repeat itself a lot in football, because players can often mirror the fans, or fans can often mirror the players. And there are times where you actually need, sometimes the fans have got to pull the players up. Other times the players need to do the same in reverse. And I thought that's why I was looking at your players today and thought, you know what? Absolute fair play to all of you, because they got, other than that little mistake from Gomares that led to the goal, you guys it's one of the most perfect final performances like I've ever seen. One of the most perfect cup final performances in the history of domestic competition that I've ever watched. It was flawless. G, obviously you're a Liverpool fan. Obviously,
and by the way,
go on.
Oh, sorry, I was just gonna say, and on top of that, we still only won 2-1.
Yeah.
This performance. Sorry to cut you off, but like it flattered us to only win 2-1 in the grand scheme of things. But Newcastle being Newcastle, we did have to make it a bit complicated.
Yeah, I hear that. G, obviously you'll be disappointed to lose. What was your thoughts on Liverpool today, and why do you think you were so flat?
Steve, you said it there, man. That was a 2-1. That was flattered. You know what I mean? Like, we should have lost by more. We was shit the whole game. I think bar maybe like towards the end when we're throwing the kitchen sink at it. You're gonna have to ask Slot. I haven't heard his press conference, so I ain't got a clue as to what he was thinking, what he was doing. Newcastle, I said it before the game. I said it when we drew 3-3. You see that midfield? Yeah, that midfield is different. It's different gravy, Like every one of those players, I want in my team. I said it before the 3-3 game. I said it before this game. I said, you see that type of midfield, people look at it and think, oh, physically. Forget the physical side. They got that in abundance as a team. When you look at that midfield, though, it's just got a mix of everything that you'd want from a Premier League midfield. And then when you've got Europe's hottest striker, around who can finish chances where it's like, bro, like why'd you have to take it one touch and finish? Do you know what I mean? It was just one of them kind of finishes. But honestly, Liverpool did not look up for it at all. Like, we came into this game and I thought after the PSG game, I thought that these guys were gonna stand up and be counted. I thought, you know what, we're gonna come into the game, we're gonna be, as we're gonna be doing what Newcastle are doing. I didn't think we would win in that kind of way. I thought it would be more about the football that we played, and Newcastle might huff and puff, and then the game would just peter out in the way it does. But Newcastle, like from the first minute, it was just bang, 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 and you kind of looked at it and you saw Mo Salah, like that's my guy, but when you're up against Dan Burn, you see that crossfield pass that Van Dijk loves to do. I said, that's not happening today. You're not doing it against Burn, not in a cup final. Like, he's going to be way too up for it. It's just going to get long. Then with the midfield, then with the defense, then with their attack. Everyone looked at the attack of Newcastle and thought, well, they ain't got no Anthony Gordon. Oh, this might look tricky. I said, they don't even need all of that, because I don't feel like it's about one individual with Newcastle. It is really about the team, whereas we've been relying solely on one individual to kind of bail us out of trouble. When he's not performing, the rest of the team ain't performing as well as they probably, should be. So when you saw it, players like Curtis Jones coming on, and he added a bit of life and, a bit of oomph, to the team in itself, because Liverpool's midfield three for a little while now was shit. And you kind of knew that before the game, they were going to be shit. because the reality is you can't come up against that type of midfield with our midfield. But guess what? I'm not the guy who gets paid millions to make these decisions, and I ain't going to be scrutinized after this. It's going to be him. But Newcastle thoroughly deserved to win that
Thank you,
game.
sir.
There isn't even like, there's nothing I can say. I can't say, oh yeah, maybe if we got this decision, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Newcastle deserve to win the game. It's so done. Liverpool have been absolutely shite for a little while now, and look, in 1 week you've gone from treble to just praying that you just don't bottle the league, which is I don't think is gonna happen. But you just now we're in this kind of situation. You're like, well, come on, man, like that's that's so sad for a group of players who are supposed to be winners. You guys are just petering out the season in the way that you are. Come on, man. I expect way more from professionals, especially professionals who claim to want to win everything. That to me is embarrassing to watch half the time, because I'm like, how are you letting, and no disrespect to Newcastle, by the way, but how are you letting Newcastle, a team who haven't won in ages, so you already knew how big this was going to be for them. You knew it before the game. It's been 50 whatever odd years since they won something. So guess what? You've got to come in there with your quality. You've got to come in there with your nous and understand, yo, this is going to be massive for them, but we need to calm them down a little bit. Guess what? You didn't do that, and you deserve to lose.
I thought it was interesting, G. I put it had this feeling in the game when Newcastle were on top. It got to like 42 minutes, and I tweeted out a thought, and I'm like, if Newcastle don't score when they're on top, there was only one way the game was going to go, and it was going to be Liverpool were going to get some sucker punch goal 55, 60 minutes, and then the Newcastle energy just drifts out. That Dan Burn goal, the timing of it before half time, it was probably better than scoring some of the earlier chances, because it sort of gave you guys something to come out in the second half and fight for straight away. And Newcastle carried on as they left off. And that second goal, I thought, and especially the second goal came just after one being disallowed, I think that killed the game. I think when that second goal went in, Liverpool really didn't, to me, look like doing anything much at all until that consolation goal late on. It was
for me, the Nick Pope save. The Nick Pope save for me, I think, was when I felt like, ooh, because that Nick Pope save was a few minutes after we scored.
Yeah. But
that for me was
including that. Yeah, what you like? Remember, as Terry said, you're right. Liverpool have this knack this season where you'll play shit and then the team don't score, and then you just go ahead and score, right? The problem is that we weren't even like nothing was happening, like nothing was really going on. So I couldn't even see a way. I was like, I don't think people understand. Like, you see Newcastle, if they want to sit, they will sit. I've watched games where Newcastle will just chill for 20, 25 minutes and not be bothered about trying to score. They're already 2-0 up. They don't need to score another goal. So Liverpool were kind of like, Van Dijk was playing alongside fucking Dan Burn. I said, that's when you know it's all peak now, when I've got my centre back who doesn't score that much. He's now up front trying to score goals. And I was like, like I said, Newcastle, you deserve to win it, man. I can't say much more than that, to be honest.
Thank you.
Yeah, Sam, obviously you look very frustrated, mate. What are you here to say about Liverpool's performance today and the Carabao Cup final?
First of all, congratulations, Newcastle. You deserved it thoroughly. Well done. My head is hot. I can't lie to you.
Let it out, brother. Therapy's here. Therapy session begins. Come on, buddy.
I can accept Liverpool playing decent and then Newcastle just getting over the line. What I can't accept in a final is us playing absolutely utter garbage in a final. Now, part to play with it was Newcastle actually making us play like that. But right now, like, I was looking at the game and I was just trying to calm my thoughts, and I was thinking Slot's tactics were wrong. There's some players that need to get sold in the summer, and FSG, I really do hope that Liverpool fans see that us not buying anyone, or only buying, Chiesa, which was practically nothing, and not getting anyone in January, Arsenal have let us off the hook. Actually, the rest of the Premier League have let us off the hook. Because I knew from before that this is a good team, but it's not a great team.
Yes.
And we have to kind of build on it next season. The mistakes that were made, fix these mistakes and build on it next season. But obviously, with the run that we have other people saying we're this, we're that, greater than what we are, and this has actually exposed what the real problems at hand. There's 2 seasons now where it's coming now to the end of the season, we're capitulating. We've had 2 different managers. So what's the problem? You have to ask yourself, what is the problem? Who is the common denominator now? And for me, it's FSG. But before we get into FSG, we have to talk about the match. And the match was absolutely poor. Newcastle bullied us all over the park. I mean, you can say Salah was missing. I'm sorry. Could you even get a ball to Salah? We couldn't even get a ball. How many touches did Salah have in that game? It was an absolute joke. Diaz ran out of ideas. Jota was running like a headless chicken.
He had 23 touches.
Say again?
He had 23 in the whole game.
Jesus.
And I'm very sure Salah averages more than that in a game. So, and the midfield was non-existent. I don't know what McAllister, Gravenberch, and Szoboszlai were doing. And I hardly criticized the midfield, but recently it's just been poor. It's been poor. And then Slot making the changes, and I was thinking, Slot, I know you've made changes before where Hussam, you can do this all the time, all the time.
That's not what's happened.
But no, the changes that he's made before has one-off games. But some of the changes didn't even make sense. First of all, I actually think Endo should have been brought into this game because Endo was a battler. And he could come up with a fight with that Newcastle midfield. But it is what it is. Like, I'm trying to keep my thoughts down because I don't want to crash out. But
it's a safe place, mate. Safe place.
We've been quite lucky with how the Premier League has gone for us to not buy anybody. Not with the quality, it's just to not buy anybody because it looks like we're running out of energy towards the same part of the season where last season we also ran out of energy. And that is a big problem. But yeah.
Yep, I hear you on that.